Alright guys, so I forgot to look and see what the date was. I will put the date on the screen here. We are going to get our smoker lit here. Check on our girls. Put the bottom board back in. Alright, smoker is lit. This is going to just be a quick check. Give the girls a little smoke here underneath. It's starting to get a little cooler, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the bottom board back in on the hive. But figure we might as well do a little check here to start with, see how they're doing. Take the cover off gently here. Positive sign so far. All right. Let's check on these girls. See how they're doing in here. All right, so this is the outside frame. No sign of pollen. A little bit of nectar and honey here as well. Again, no sign of pollen. I'm going to set this frame out to the side while I pull the rest of these frames. Give the girls a little smoke, calm them down a little bit. Try to hold this up to the camera here so you can see, but oh. So a few little drone cells here, but lots of pollen going in these cells here. I'll try to point that out when I do the edit. But yeah, it's a good bit of pollen. I was a little worried because I wasn't seeing any pollen the last time I checked on them. All right, frame 3. Lots of brood. Good female brood. So that means we do have a queen in here for sure somewhere. And just do a quick look around for her. I see a lot of capped brood. I see a little bit of open larvae. I don't see any eggs though. I really need to hold this up to the light to see down inside these cells. No. Just do a quick scan of the frames here. This is frame 3. That's the inside of frame 3. This is the outside of frame 3. Lots of brood. Good sign. Good healthy brood pattern. More brood. Lots of brood. I see eggs. I see larvae. I see very young larvae, like probably 2 or 3 day old larvae. Oh, I do see a few eggs, so that's good. Queen is still laying. Just do a quick searchy search for the queen. See if I run across her. Seeing a lot of drones, almost all worker brood here that's capped. More brood, more larvae, more eggs. Looking pretty healthy. Still a very small hive though. I'm glad last week when I checked on them I reduced them down into one box. I don't think there's enough to support 2 boxes for sure. Okay, everybody's looking good. More larvae, more capped brood, a little bit of drone, a lot of worker capped brood. Just a quick glance around for my queen. Lots of young eggs on this side here, so maybe my queen's on this frame here. Let's see if we can find her. I'm seeing lots of drones. No sign of my queen though, but we know she's there. We definitely know she's in here somewhere because she is laying crazy. All right. Now we're back into the frames that are probably there's a good bit of pollen coming in here. That's a good sign. A good bit of pollen and a good bit of nectar on this frame here. On the inside of, what is this, frame 7. Outside of frame 7 is pretty much nothing. I'm sorry, that was 6. This is frame 7 here, and this is going to be a frame full of nectar and honey. Okay. Frame 8 is a heavy frame. Heavy frame, this is almost completely full, top to bottom, with nectar or honey. This side, the same. It's about probably 75% filled out with comb, and every bit of comb that's filled out has either got honey or nectar in it. So, good bit of supplies there. And then this is frame 10. Also another heavy frame of honey and nectar. I do like the fact that I saw a fairly good, decent amount of pollen this time around, so maybe they're getting ready for winter. I have 2 pounds of pollen patties ordered. I know somebody recently suggested I feed them. And I've always been kind of opposed to that because I feel like nobody is intervening in their natural life when they're in the wild, and I kind of like to let them just build and be as strong as possible. I've never noticed any varroa mites in my hive. Not saying there isn't any, but there's definitely not a huge problem. I do a pretty close inspection of the videos that I shoot and never have seen any on camera. I'll shoot this frame as well. So, and stuff that I've read says that pollen patties, putting pollen patties on the hive seems to attract the varroa mites. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but, and small hive beetles as well. Maybe it was the small hive beetles that the pollen patties attracted. Whatever the case, I've never done it in the past, but I did find a source online. I thought you had to buy like large cases of these pollen patties. I didn't realize you could just buy like 2 1-pound patties. I don't remember the source, but I will put a link or put a name of the pollen patties that I ordered, or the source that I ordered them from, down below the screen right now. They're scheduled to be here next week. So what I plan on doing is It's 2 1-pound patties. So somebody tell me if this is a good idea or a bad idea. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break a patty, a 1-pound patty, in half and just give them a ½ pound at a time. Check them 7 to 10 days later, see what their progress is on that, and then continue on with the pollen patties until, which would give me basically 4 weeks of feeding. And I'm thinking by 4 weeks from now we're going to be finally into some cold weather. I don't know. It seems like it's never going to get cold here in Vegas. But we'll see. All right, so the girls look like they're doing okay. Give them one quick smoke here. Get our bottom board back in here. Need to make room so I can get this board in straight. There we go. Get the girls closed up for winter time. I don't know. Nope, I went in upside down, of course. You can see the board's got different thicknesses there, so it's got to go in a certain way, otherwise it won't close up properly. All right, so the back is closed up good. I think for now I'm going to leave the entrance. I've got the entrance. I'll shoot it here in a minute and edit it in here, but I've got the entrance, the spacer that goes across the front entrance. You can do either a really small hole for like a single bee at a time or 2 bees at a time, or there's a wider section that's about 4 or 5 inches wide where multiple bees can be going in at once. I think for wintertime, I want to close it down to just a single bee entrance. But for now, I think I'm going to leave it till I start feeding the girls the pollen patties that are going to come in next week and it starts getting a little bit colder. They do get some sun during the day. For the most part, they're in the shade now. Okay, is that on right? It is on right. Okay. It does get windy here occasionally, so got to keep some weight on top of the box here to keep the box from blowing away on me. So, not really sure how to recap this. The bees seem to be doing okay. There's a lot of brood, a little bit of worker, a lot of worker brood, a little bit of drone brood, which is good. Once again, didn't see the queen. Maybe she'll show up when I review some of the frames that I held up close to the camera. But otherwise, pretty normal inspection, I believe. Probably ought to rip this plastic off the top of the aluminum roof, but I'm going to just leave it on there, let nature take its course. That's it for October. What is today? It's not the 15th, it's probably the 19th or 20th. 20th, I believe. I'll put the date on the beginning and again right here if I forgot what it is. And yeah, waiting on my pollen patties to arrive. Here's a drone. What are you doing outside, boy? What are you doing outside? Get back in there. All right. You better go back inside. All right, so that's it for this inspection. Everything looked good, and we'll call it quits for the day.